All right, we finished row 30, and I finished that with a chain 4 and a slip stitch in that single crochet that we made. Not at the beginning where we slip stitched. We're going to skip that part, and this is where we're going to put our slip stitch. All right, so moving on to row 31, I've chained 1, I'm going to turn. Slip stitch twice into the center of the chain 4, 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Double crochet once more to complete V-stitch. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to be working over these first 4 double crochets. We're going to be making a 4 double crochet decrease. So what that means is we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5 of those loops. That's what that looks like. Now chain 2. We're going to put 7 double crochets in that next double crochet on the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2, and we're going to be making a 4 double crochet decrease over these last 4. So again, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. So that's what that looks like. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and V-stitch in the middle of the chain space. And that's our repeat for row 31. So again, chain 4, and do our 4 double crochet decrease, 2, 3, 4, pull through all 4, chain 2, 7 double crochets in the next double crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2, and our second decrease, 2, 3, 4, pull through all of them, chain 4, and V-stitch. So continue that around, ending with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4. We'll carry on to row 32. We're almost done. Just a few more rows to go. All right, we've made it to the end of row 32. That's how it's looking. Ended with a slip stitch in that beginning single crochet. I went ahead and chained one. And we're going to turn. How big and full this skirt is. Hard to turn over. All right. So row 33, we're going to chain 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This counts as a double crochet and a chain 5. Now we're going to skip over this chain. We're going to do a 3 double crochet decrease over the first 3 stitches. So pull up a loop, draw through 2, pull up a loop in the second, draw through 2, pull up a loop through the third, pull through all 4 loops on your hook to make the first, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to repeat that 4 more times. I'm going to make another 3 double crochet decrease, chain 3, again, three, pull through all of them, chain 3, another decrease, and one more in the last 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. That's how that looks. Pretty cool. Now chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and double crochet in that single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our repeat. So we go back to doing the 3 double crochet decreases, followed by chain 3 in that fan. So that's how it looks. Continue that all the way around, ending with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 8, and then we will do our last row of this dress. If you made it this far, well done. It's definitely a time commitment, but like I said, I think it's worth it because I think it's really pretty. So I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, we have made it to the end of row 33. I have slip stitched in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 8. And now for our final row, row 34, we need to make a nice clean edge for our dress, just to make it clean, not to have these chain spaces open to get snagged. So what we're going to do is chain 3, that counts as a double crochet, and we're going to put 1 double crochet for every chain and stitch all the way around. So every chain space will be 1 double crochet, on top of every cluster will be 1 double crochet, and these chain 3 spaces, 3 double crochets, just 1 double crochet for every stitch and chain around. And then end with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. Fasten off the yarn, weave in your ends, and then we will work to finish the neckline. Let me show you. Look how full the skirt is. It's so fluffy, so big. Like, you don't even need to put any sort of petticoat under it. It's just so full and so lacy and fluffy and beautiful and girly. And I just love this pattern so much. But yes, one more row, all double crochets, and then we will finish the neckline, the armholes, and add our buttons to the back. So I will see you there. Alright, I have finished our final row of double crochets all the way around. I have slip stitched in the third chain at the beginning, chain 3, and I've weaved in my tail. Show you how full the skirt is. Look at this. It's so crazy full, but it photographs so beautifully. Put baby in it and just take Easter photos. You can make it in white, make it a christening gown. It's just, there's so many options for this gown. And it's an heirloom, so you can just pass it down through the generations. Because as I said, it is a true labor of love. It takes a long time to make, but I feel like the end result is worth it. Now, the last thing that we need to do, it can stand up by itself. That's crazy. But the last thing we need to do is finish the neckline and the armholes. We're putting 3 buttons down the back and then finishing the arms as well. Okay, to finish the neckline, I'm going to join my yarn at the corner. And I like to match up the colors. You don't have to, but I like it that it matches. I'm going to pull up a loop, chain 1, and single crochet in that same space to secure the tail. I'm going to be holding this new tail and the tail that we made at the very beginning of the dress. I'm going to hold those and work them into the stitches. That's one less thing that I have to weave in. I'm just going to make 1 single crochet around the neckline, all the way around the neckline. Holding those stitches, or holding those tails, sorry, for a few stitches to help hide them so I don't have to weave them in later. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet all the way around the neckline, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I have single crocheted around the neckline. I've gotten to this other back piece, and now we're going to single crochet all the way down. I put 2 single crochets in the top stitch. Now we're just going to single crochet all the way down. We're not going to be making buttonholes on this row. We're just going to make the stitches just all the way down. Down the back. I like making 2 rows for the back. I just think the buttonholes look nicer when you've got a row of single crochets instead of trying to work them in the posts. Alright, and when you get to the bottom, you don't want to add stitches because I can make like a lump at the bottom of the dress, so we're not going to add stitches. We're going to skip the stitch right here, this one, and go into the next. We don't add stitches. And then single crochet up the other side of the back of the dress. I love that it just stands up by itself. Like there's no need for a hoop or a petticoat. It just stands up by itself. I think that's awesome. Definitely for a younger baby girl who probably isn't walking yet, because it's a lot of dress for a little one to try to lug around. Definitely more for photos and, like I said, passing down through the generations. Right? So I'm going to slip stitch in that beginning single crochet. How that looks. And now we're going to chain 1, single crochet in that same stitch, and again put 1 single crochet around the neckline, and I'll meet you on the other side where we start making the buttonholes. Alright, I've made it back over to the other side again. I've single crocheted in that top stitch. I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crochet in that same stitch. Made a buttonhole. And continue crocheting down. I like to space the buttons out by a few rows each, usually 3. If you're using 2 buttons, you can do 1 at the top, 1 midway. If you're doing 3 buttons, like I'll be doing, just looking at it, it'll probably be here. Get midway down. Okay. Now again, we're going to chain 4, single crochet in the same stitch for our second buttonhole, and then crochet down. Don't want to put the last button all the way at the bottom. It might be uncomfortable for baby, so get a couple more stitches. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 more. And then we'll make our third buttonhole, chaining 4 and single crocheting in that same stitch. Now from here, just put 1 single crochet, all the rest of the stitches, buttonholes. I just love how full the skirt is. Said we don't need a hoop or a petticoat, but I would actually love to see what it would look like. I think it would be kind of hilarious, to be honest. Maybe we'd have a true princess ball gown, like Disney. It might be really cute, actually. Alright. Make it to the top. And crochet. And slip stitch in that first single crochet. Chain 1. And cut. Actually, leave a bit of length in this top tail right here, because we can actually use this same tail to sew our first button. I'm gonna leave more of a tail than I normally would. I can sew a button. For the sew buttons, you just match the holes up where you want them to go, and just sew on your buttons across. As for the armholes, you just join your yarn just like you joined the top here. You can make single crochets, or you could make half doubles. You could make long sleeves, short sleeves. It's really up to you. It's where your creativity can really come in. So the way I like to join it is in the back, a couple stitches before, maybe even one more back. A couple stitches before you go to the bottom in the pit area. Again, drop a loop, and I'm going to make a half double crochet, so I'm going to half double crochet. Come on. Okay, and I'm going to hold that tail again. Really make it however you want. Alright, so I really wanted to show you making the armholes because you want to avoid this big hole. So this is where we had the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. When we were making the bodice, we don't want a giant hole in the arm, so we're actually going to skip this space and do our half double crochet in that next space, just to close that hole so there's not a giant hole. And then just carry on and single crochet, half double crochet, whatever stitch you decided to do, just do one all the way around and end the row with a slip stitch in the beginning stitch. And if you want to do another row, go ahead. If you want to make them long sleeves, it's really up to you, but I will meet you at the end of the first row. Okay, so I've finished my row of half double crochets around. I've slip stitched. I'm going to do one more row of half double crochets, and then you just repeat the same thing. Go in the opposite direction on this side. Again, skip that chain 2 space so there's not a hole in the back. And once both sides are done, I will meet you here. Alright, and so that is the dress completed. I've done the armholes, the neckline. I went ahead and sewed on my 3 buttons. That is it. If you want a more detailed tutorial on how to sew on those buttons, I do have I have that available on the 4th part of my Pretty Pineapples crochet dress tutorial if you need to see that. I don't want to repeat the same things every time. So just as a general idea, this is how the buttons look, but if you do need more details, that is available in another video for you. I'm just looking. This is the back of the dress, obviously. Look how full and fluffy and beautiful it is. I love it. And of course, here is the front once again. I hope you enjoyed making this dress. I know it did take quite a long time, so if you did make it all the way to this full length, well done. Because it is definitely an adventure. It's a time investment, but as I've said, I really think it is worth it because of the end result. It is so fluffy and pretty and lacy, and it just photographs so well. So thank you so much for following this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.